So we are first going to be looking at reducing fractions, because at the end of the day, when we go on to the next exponent rule, that's what we're looking at. So I have the fraction 3/6. I'm looking for a number that you can divide both 3 and 6 by. So what number might that be? 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 on top and on bottom. So then I do 3 divided by 3 and I get 1. 6 divided by 3 and I get 2. I can't divide this any further. So that one's done. I have the fraction 5/25. I'm looking for a number that I can divide both 5 and 25 by. 5. So I'm going to divide by 5 on top and divide by 5 on bottom. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. I can't divide that any further. This one was on your test, and this one tripped a lot of people up. So 81/99. That one's really hard, isn't it? Well, I know 9 goes into 81 and 99, so I can try that. 81 divided by 9 is 9. 99 divided by 9 is 11. I can't divide that anymore. The last one is where it gets a little tricky. I think that 6 goes into both of those, and we'll see where we end up when we divide both by 6. 36 divided by 6, that one's easy, it's 6. 72 divided by 6 is 12. Well, can I divide anything here still again? You could say 3. You could say 2. I'm going to do 3. That gives me 2/4. Oh, I can divide it again. So basically all I'm doing is getting to a point where I can't divide anymore, right? When I got here, they both still had a number that I could divide by. When I got here, they both still had a number that I could divide by, okay? So that's what we're going to kind of keep in mind as we move on to the next part. So the quotient rule. We are looking at the quotient rule, okay? So you can see here it says 2 to the third and 2 to the second. So they just write it. There's 3 2's on top. There are 2 2's on bottom. And then you say, okay, well, it's almost like dividing, right? Or canceling out things that are alike. These 2 cancel and make a 1 pair. These 2 cancel and make 1 pair. So where am I left with a 2? On the top. And it is to the first power. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. That way you can actually see. Okay? So looking at the next one. How many 3's would be on top? 7. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on top. How many would be on bottom? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cancel there. Cancel there. Cancel there. Cancel there. Where am I left with 3's at? On the top. How many are there? 3. That's it. That's all it wants you to do. Okay? For this next one, how many x's are going to be on top? 10. That's going to be a lot, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I almost made it. On the bottom, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to cancel. That cancels, that cancels, that cancels, and that cancels. Hopefully your x's look a little better than mine. I am left with, where are my x's? On top, and how many are there? 6. So we're going to think through this now. 2 to the third over 2 to the second, I was left with 2 to the first. 3 to the seventh over 3 to the fourth, I was left with 3 to the third. X to the 10th over x to the fourth, I was left with x to the 6th. What do you think is happening with the exponents? They're actually being subtracted. They're actually being subtracted. Okay? And again, if you need to write this out, that is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So in this next one where it says practice together, I have 2 to the third, so that means I have 3 2's on top and 3 2's on bottom. That gives me 1 pair, 1 pair, 1 pair. I have nothing left, so that gives me a 1. Okay? Now this next part, right? It adds in a number. There's not just letters anymore. So I have the fraction 12 over 8. What can I reduce both of those by? 4. So if I divide this by 4, I end up with 3 over 2. Okay? Then I'm going to add in my x's. How many x's do I have on top? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do I have on bottom? 12. How many can I cancel out? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where are my x's left at? Where are my x's left at? They're on the bottom this time. So I keep my 3 on top, I write my 2 on bottom, and then I write x to the 7th on the bottom because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's left over. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the next one. I have 9 over 36. What can I divide both of those by? I can divide both of them by 9, actually. 9 divided by 9 gives me 1 on top. Excuse me. And 4 on bottom. How many x's are on top? 2. How many x's are on bottom? 6. That makes a 1 pair. That makes a 1 pair. So I'm left with only a 1 on the top. I'm left with a 4 on the bottom. And x to the what? 4th power. Good. X to the 20th over x to the 20th. How many x's would this be? 20. How many x's would this be? 20. How many x's could you cancel out? 20. So this is exactly like the first one. It's going to make a 1 pair. Okay? Where it says practice on your own, I want to do one of them together first, just so that you get an idea. Okay? We're going to look at number 3. This AB to the 2nd power. So that AB would be written twice, and that's over A, B, B. There's only one A, and there are 2 B's. Do you see the difference between if there's a parenthesis with the number outside and if there is just 2 letters or numbers with 1 exponent? Okay, so now these A's cancel out, these B's cancel out, these B's cancel out, and you're just left with an A up top. Okay, so do the same thing with 1